Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning into the download. Today, we are very lucky to have Michael Masick, the St. Louis Zoo Director, with us. Hello, Michael. How are you today?
Very well, Tabitha. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for being on here. So can you tell us a little bit about how the animals are doing? What's going on at the zoo?
Yeah, well, the animals are great. We're trying to maintain, or not trying, we are maintaining the same level of animal welfare as we always have. At the moment, we're in what we call a level 4. So, of course, everybody knows we're closed to the public. We only have essential staff reporting. So it's primarily the animal care team, the veterinary team, as well as our nutrition department. So the animals see their animal caretakers every single day. They have, incredible relationships with them. So the animals are continuing to get their routines are relatively unchanged, I should say. They're getting a lot of what we call enrichment every single day. So none of that has really changed. I think some of them probably do miss the public a little bit. Many of our animals do in fact engage with the public as much as they can. They can't get too close, of course. So I think it's an eerie place in that it's very, I've been in this industry for 38 years, and of course, nothing like this has happened since the Spanish flu in 1918. And that, in fact, was the last time that the St. Louis Zoo, which is over 110 years old, was closed for any sustained period of time. It happened during the Spanish flu pandemic in 1918 as well, and the zoo was closed for 2 different occasions during that pandemic event. And here we are again. So not a good thing, but certainly in my career, my 38-year career, I've worked at 3 different zoos. This is completely unprecedented. I've been at the St. Louis Zoo for 30 years. So it's kind of spooky and eerie, but the animals seem to be fine. They're behaving relatively normally, except I will say, when I go in occasionally and walk around the zoo, they're more interested in me than they normally are. And I think that's just because they don't see people walking around very often. So the red pandas and others are very curious when I'm on the zoo grounds.
Oh, that's fun. They definitely have your undivided attention too.
That's right. Yeah. And I'm as happy to see them as they are to see me.
I imagine so. So how is the zoo staying connected with the community right now since it's closed?
Yeah, it's you can imagine it's really tough. Our marketing, our PR, and our education department has really had to pivot in really transitioning from in-person connections to virtual connections. So we have a campaign, what we call Bring the St. Louis Zoo to You, and that's on all of our social media platforms as well as our website. You can connect that way. We have, every week, we have a whole curriculum that's lined up for very young children, maybe 1 through 12, something like that, teenagers, and as well as adults and family programming. And every single week we're basically uploading new content there. We have a lot of, on social media, you can imagine a lot of shorter videos have been really popular, and our hits are like through the roof. I think most people are experiencing that, but I think we had a penguin weighing. So, our keepers weigh the penguins every day. They're trained to do that. Something that happens at the zoo every single day, but we filmed it, and I think it got over something like 6 million hits. And some of our viewership has gone up like 500 to 900%. So it's really, really incredible. We're also doing live webcams in our education department. So I'm sorry, webinars. So that's happening every Wednesday. So those people who log on can actually interact with our educators. We're doing that every Wednesday, and we have a lot more live cams now. So we used to just have the penguin cam, and again, I really have to give our animal division a lot of props because we have a lot of cameras throughout the zoo that are on various animals for research and just so we can monitor them. Well, we've made them; they're now live. So if you go to our website, every single day we have a variety of different animals that you can see on the webcams: our polar bear, our grizzly bear, our pinnipeds, which are the seals and sea lions, of course the penguins and others. So we're trying to connect as much as we can, and I think they've been really successful at it. There's a lot of fun stuff out there.
This is true. My kids always log in to watch the polar bear. That's their favorite. So if people in St. Louis or outside of St. Louis, the region, want to connect or help the zoo, is there a way that they can show their support to the animals?
Yes, that's through our critical care fund. So when they go to the website, actually, there's a banner at the top of the website that allows you to donate if you'd like to. But if you can't do that, there's a pop-up that shows up right away, so you can't miss that pop-up, and you can do it there. So as I hope a lot of people understand, we are one of the few free zoos in the country. About a half of our budget comes from taxes, both sales and property taxes. Sales taxes, as you can imagine, are going to be down significantly. We're anticipating about 60%. The other half comes from a quarter from philanthropy, people donating. And again, we're asking you to do that now through our critical care fund. But people's investment portfolios are down, and we don't know what philanthropy is going to look like for a long time. And of course, the last quarter is through earned revenue. People coming and spending, because the zoo is free and we will continue to be free, but that's, we don't have that form of income as well. So we do hope that they'll understand that these are challenging times for us, and every day that we're closed is another day that's a real challenge. So please visit the website, and you can do it that way through our critical care fund.
Well, that leads me to my last question. When is the zoo going to reopen? We want to see the animals, and what's going to changes? Like what changes are in store for when it does reopen?
Yeah, what's next, right? So I actually am leading with a reopening task force here at the zoo. We've been working on this for probably about the last 3 weeks. There will be modifications in our operations. I will say at the moment, we're not quite sure when we're going to open yet. As of course everybody knows, on the 18th, the stay-at-home order will be lifted. Some businesses will be allowed to reopen. We are not on that initial list, so it will not be that early. However, we're hoping it'll be shortly after that. There are a lot of modifications that have to take place, so we're really thinking that we can be ready the first week of June, and we don't want to open until we can open safely. So some things that you're going to notice, as you can imagine, in most locations, is there'll be restricted access. So of course, people are most used to just coming to the zoo, driving up, walking up, biking up, and coming in. We are going to be requiring reserved time-ticketed reserved reservations. So you will have to go online, or you can call if you don't have access to the internet, and make time-ticketed reservations. That's absolutely a must, and that's the only way we can maintain a restricted attendance and really maintain social distancing. Our staff will be wearing masks. We may require our guests to wear masks. We haven't decided that yet. Of course, there'll be the other kind of normal things. We'll have plexiglass barriers between all point of sales. Our attractions might be somewhat restricted. Some of our buildings may be closed. We haven't decided yet. And it's going to be like a dimmer switch. I mean, we may have to, ramp things up a little bit. We may be able to relax things a little bit. The most important thing is if everybody follows the rules, everybody benefits. If we don't, there might be some prices to pay, and we don't want to have to close the zoo after we've reopened because people aren't following the rules. But that's true for all of us wherever we go.
Very true. Well, Michael, thank you for your time. I am sure I am one of many, many people who can't wait to see all of the animals at the zoo again.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you, and we're going to have everybody head to your website, and we'll have all the links at the bottom of the post. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate it.